Hello, good evening, and welcome again. I came here to remind you this evening that as Africans, as people who are fighting for us to live the way we are supposed to live, let us fight for land. Let us fight for land. I made a very exciting video, and I thought I should talk about it. Let us really fight for land. As Pan-Africanists who are fighting for the freedom of Africa, as people who are fighting for the wellness of Africa, as people who are fighting for the good of Africa, let us fight for land. Those who are sitting down and you don't know what we are doing, or rather you think we are making noise for nothing, wake up and let us fight for land. There is only one thing that defines us, and there is only one thing that will make us and give us respect. It is land. Even in a family, in a home where there is parents and children and there is no land, that family is likely not to be respected. So the only thing we need to fight for as Africans is land. Let us watch this video.
So, guys, this whole thing of democracy is a smokescreen of lies. Because even in countries where they are claiming democracy, they are enjoying more freedom in Africa than we can enjoy in their own country. And I don't know why we are so much scared of dealing with the devil once and for all. And you tell this message to all my white brothers from Germany and from South Africa. If you are not careful the way you handle land, you are going to leave your children with a snake in the back. Because these young people you see here, one day when they wake up and they ask each other, where is our land? After being to Australia and they are told you are illegal immigrant. They go to America and they are told you are an alien. They go to Britain and they are told you are a foreigner. And they come back home here and they are landless. Your own children, you will turn in your grave as our children will start victimizing your children. If you are smart enough to hear a fool, start making arrangements to relinquish some of the land into the black hands, to diffuse the anger of the people. Use democracy to bribe them. And be nice to them when they can still listen. Because time will come when you will want to talk and will not want to talk. You'll want to negotiate and will not want to negotiate. Maximize on time. And as far as land is concerned, gentlemen, we don't have to apologize for what rightfully belongs to us. The African does not own his land. The land owns him. From it we have come. To it we shall return. I owe my allegiance to the soil where I come from, because soil is spiritual. That's where my history is. That's where my forefathers are buried. I eat from it. I drink from it. My history is written in the land. And whoever owns my land owns my blessings. Because when it rains, God has blessed me. If I don't have access to land, I don't have access to existence. Therefore, every man must have two wives. The first wife is land, and the second wife is the one who will make children for you. If you don't have land, you don't have a right to reproduction. Because you cannot sleep with your wife on WhatsApp. You can't sleep with her on Facebook. You need an address. You need an address. Land. Land is the address that legitimizes even making children. That's why when lions walk around the bush, they lift up their legs and they mark their territories. And after they've marked their territories, then they start reproducing. Are animals now better than us? That we fail to have access to our own spaces so that we can reproduce after our own selves. I challenge SWAPO to deal with land issues violently. Take off those bloody gloves. Get down to business. But be strategic, be thoughtful, be mindful, be future-seeing, and put strategies that will work. But no matter how long you wait, sweet talking around land, it will boil down to one thing. Who will ultimately be the owner of the land? So I would want to respect that by policy. Let's keep the land as state land. Let people lease it from us as they work. And let us constantly be in control, because this is one of the only assets that we have as a nation. And sooner or later we must discover who is our enemy and who is our friends. This is how I want you to think. This is how I want you to feel. This is how I want you to do. You guys went to war, and you did not go to war to fight for democracy. We didn't go to war so that we wanted to share toilets. No, we can build our own toilets. We went to war because we wanted to restore land. Number one, we wanted power away from those that were oppressing us and to have it to ourselves. I'm talking this as a Pan-Africanist.
It is land we are fighting for. It is land we are fighting for as Africans. Because even when there was a struggle for independence, the only thing and the issue that made us wake up and went to a fight, it was because of land. We were preventing land. We were trying to take back the land. That's why every day we say that Africa is our motherland, is a land that belongs to us. We are not fighting for many things. We are fighting for the motherland. We want to have freedom over our land. We want to have an opportunity to be able to stand and say this land belongs to us. Because the only important thing and the only significant thing in our life is land. In every family, when you don't have land, you're in trouble. So we are fighting for the land. People went to war. They went to fight for the land. And so we are fighting for the motherland because this is a land that produced us. Africa is a land that produced us. It is where we were born. It is where we grew up from. We were born from this soil. This is the soil that produced us, Africa. And so let us all wake up and fighting for the land and start fighting for the land. So people who are selling us out, they need to know they are selling land that belongs to us. Because we find out that there are people who are not in Africa, but they are ruling Africa from outside. So they are ruling our land. They are ruling us in our own soil. And we don't have anything to say. We can't speak anything. We cannot say anything. What does that mean? It means we are less to a point. We have left our land that people can do anything to our land. They can come to our land and do whatever they want to do, anything they want to do. And we have nothing to say. We cannot speak. Land is something that is very important. People are guiding, they are ruling us from outside country, from their countries. They are ruling us in our own land. Out of this land we came, and to it we shall return. And if we are not going to wake up, our children's, they will have nowhere to sleep. They will have nowhere to step on. And that is why there are people who are rising up. There are Pan-Africanists who are rising up because we want to live like the way they are living. They have their freedom. Someone was asking me, he does not see sense when I saw on a comment section someone saying that he doesn't see sense. Why is it that Africans are fighting whites for freedom while whites are not fighting Africans for freedom? And I was asking, I replied, I said, you cannot fight for something that you have. You cannot be looking or searching for something that you have. Those people, they have freedom in their own lands. Nobody's manipulating them. Nobody's asking them what to do. Nobody's telling them what to do. They have freedom in their own land. Nobody is actually talking about them, or rather commanding them, or rather manipulating their systems of government. They are governing their own selves. That means they have freedom. They cannot be fighting for freedom. But why are we fighting them for freedom? We are fighting them for freedom because they have taken our freedom. We can't breathe in our own land. Our governments have been manipulated by them. Our resources are being taken away by them. We don't have freedom. We can't speak in our own land. And that is why we are fighting them for freedom. We are not even fighting them. We are asking for what is rightfully belongs to us. The whole land of Africa, 70% is owned by an unknown person. Only 30% is what is owned by us. So we are asking what rightfully belongs to us. We are not fighting them. Because Africa is really under colonization. We are still under colonization. We are under colonization. Who is taking our uranium away? Whites. Who is taking the pyrethrum and the coffee we are planting and the cotton away? The whites. Who is taking our gold away? The whites. Everything we are mining is being taken away. Why are they in Africa? Because they are after something we are producing. Why is it, and this question I've been asking time by time, why is it that up there they have got a gold reserve bank and they don't mine gold, while here in Africa we don't have any single gold reserve bank except the one that Ibrahim TRAORE has made in Burkina Faso recently, when we are the people who are mining gold, who are gold miners in Africa, but no country has. It's because we are under colonization. They are taking things and resources and our wealth away without even asking us, without our consent, and they don't care. So they are invading in our land anyhowly. They don't want anybody to ask them. So we should be fighting for land. It is land that we are fighting for. Our children will want to see this land. They will want to have freedom in this land. Our children, when they are born, the first place they fall, it is in this land, the land of Africa. Land, very important. If you see people like Ibrahim TRAORE waking up, they are fighting for land. All these Panafricanists, the likes of Joshua Maponga, the likes of Julius Malema, and all those Pan-Africanists, the likes of PLO Lumumba and many others that I don't know, that I have not mentioned. I salute you so much. All Pan-Africanists who are out there, all Pan-Africanists who understands the value of Africa and Africans, who understands the value of our land, who understands the value of a freedom of a black person. I salute you so much. Continue educating people that we are fighting for land. The land that will bury us. The land that produced us. The land that has made us exist up to today. The land that is producing food for us. The land that is producing resources for us. The land that is producing water for us. It is what we are fighting for. Our own land. The land of our ancestors. Where our ancestors lived. Where our ancestors were born and where they were buried. This land. Because the time is coming when we shall wake up one day and we will be told, even if we die, we are not going to be buried into this land. We will be burned and our ashes be thrown away, because this land will be owned by a white man. Do you want it to get to that point? Is anybody out there who is waiting for all this to get to that point? We are fighting for land. It is this land that we want. This land that produced our ancestors. This land that produced you and me. This land that produced us. The land that has given us everything. The resources. The wealth. This land belongs to us. And anything that comes out of it belongs to Africans. The land of Africa. The land for Africans. And anything that comes out of that land for Africans. That is what we want. Not to be governed in our own land. Say no for governance in your own land. You are being governed and you are being ruled by somebody from a foreign land to your, like, in your own land, and you feel okay. That is why we are against every politician and every leader who is selling the land of Africa out. We cannot allow that. And people from South Africa, we are not going to allow people from South Africa to be held into captivity or to be taken as slaves. We cannot allow that, because South Africa is an African land. They are gathering in South Africa in big numbers, because they know South Africa is one of the countries in Africa that produced gold at large. That is why they are gathering there. They're trying to why shouldn't they go to their land? Simple. Like, we are just asking a simple question. What do they want in Africa? They called Africa poor, and it's okay. So what are they doing in Africa? This land belongs to Africans. And we shall not get tired talking about this. We shall not get tired speaking about this. We shall talk about it. We are going to speak about it. We are going to communicate everywhere. We're going to make everybody know that it is the land of Africa that we are fighting for, the land that belongs to Africans and the resources that belongs to Africans. The leaders in Africa should be Africans. People who are leading Africans should be Africans. We are not portraying hatred here. No, because whatever we are portraying here is not hatred, is justice. Some other people will be watching at our videos as Pan-Africanists and they'll begin to say, oh, you see, now these people, they have hatred in themselves, like they're betraying. No, we are not betraying hatred. What we are doing is that we are saying we want justice. We want to, everybody should have his and her own rights. As a white person, have your rights in your own land. Govern yourself. You will never see a black person coming to a white man's land and begin implementing laws and making rules unless he has followed some ways. Maybe he's a citizen there. He has changed the citizenship. But why should you come to our country and make laws for us and rule us? We want to be ruled. We want to rule our own selves. We don't want to be ruled. So this land belongs to Africans. We are fighting for land because this land is what defines us as Africans. This land is what defines us. This land is what brings out our value. We cannot call ourselves Africans if there is nothing, there is no continent. Like we can't call ourselves Africans if we don't have land. That's why we call it the motherland, the land of Africa. It's the motherland because it's the land that produced us. It is the motherland because it's the land that is feeding us, the land that is making us alive even today. So we must fight for it so that when our children come, they will find a place to sleep. They will find a place to do their businesses, a place to do their works, a place to say that this is home. You want to render us homeless? We cannot allow you to render us homeless. Africa belongs to Africans. And as I say every day, Africa for Africans. Respect Africans in their home, Africa, and Africans will be able to respect you in your home. We are fighting for land. We shall not get tired fighting for land because this land, even when people went to war, they went to war to fight for land. This land of Africa, this is what we went to war to fight for. This land belongs to us. It must remain for us. We make rules in our own lands. We guide ourselves in our own lands. That is all we want. No more, no less. The land is what we are fighting for. So it is high time. You have been into the land of Africa for quite some time. Like it's enough now. It's good when you now say, now I want to leave this land, because if you're not going to leave, we shall make you leave by force, because we have woken up and this land belongs to us. This land belongs to our mothers, our parents. And as I said, we are not portraying hatred. We are talking about, it is about justice here. Be just to us. Let us not suffer in our own land while you are happy and you are comfortable. It's not cool. It isn't good. So this land belongs to us and our children's and our ancestors and our children's children and even children's to come of Africa. We are pride of Africa. Africa is our pride. Africa is our home. Africa is home. And anything that concerns Africa concerns us. And we must talk about it. So everybody who is out there, every Pan-African who is out there, every African leader who is out there, every African politician who is out there, let us fight for the land of Africa. Let us fight for the freedom of Africa, for the liberation of Africa, because we've been under control in our own land for quite some time, and it is time we should say no to it. It is time we should say now, we don't want this anymore. We want to live in Africa as Africans. We want to make rules in Africa as Africans. It is high time we should say no to every other thing, every manipulation, every humiliation that is going to come out, because Africa belongs to us. And when Africa belongs to us, we are doing everything in an African way. We don't want to do things in a white man way, because we are Africans. Our cultures still exist. We can still go back to our cultures. We can still go back to our way of life, and that is what we want. We want to bring back the value of Africa as Africans. So Africa belongs to me and another my brother who is an African. If you want to go and pay a visit to Africa as a visitor, we welcome you. But you come as a visitor and start owning what belongs to us, what rightfully belongs to us, that is a big no, and we cannot allow that. So everybody, let us embrace the love and the unity in Africa. Let us embrace love everywhere in the world. Let us love them, but they should not take our love for granted. They should not take our welcoming hands for granted. They should respect it. Let me not welcome you to Africa and then you take the land of Africa as yours. You begin manipulating me in my own land. No. Let us respect each other. I respect you, you respect me. Africa for Africans. White man's land for white man's land. Respect should be paramount. Nobody is allowed to manipulate the other person in their own land. Make your own rules. Use your own resources. Let me make my own rules, govern my own self, and use my own resources. And that is why we are having people like IBRAHIM TRAORE. We are having many other people like PLO Lumumba, people like Julius Malema, people like Joshua Maponga, and many other people who are waking up. Many other Pan-Africanists, young and old, women, female and male, who are waking up to fight for the land of Africa. We are fighting for our land of Africa. So when we are fighting for the land of Africa, don't feel bad, because we are supposed to fight for this land. And every African who is out there, every Pan-African who is out there, let us wake up and keep educating people to understand that this land belongs to us and we must take it. They never used laws to take our land, so we are not supposed to be using laws to take it out of them. We shall take it out of them as it is ours, because it rightfully belongs to us. Africa for Africans. Africa is home. Whatever concerns Africa concerns us, Africans. Adios, adios. Peace.